Yep. Think about it. Avalanches still happen today. You know what saber-toothed tigers are? Extinct. That's what's going to happen in this game. Let's start the show.
Welcome inside the Toyota Lounge from the DNVR bar on Colfax. Popping right now. Hi, everybody. I would say high above the DNVR bar, but it's not really. It's about a flight of stairs.
Yeah, it's like 10 feet maybe.
But it's high. I mean, we're up there. That's for sure. And we're glad to have you along with us. It is the Toyota Lounge, presented by your Front Range Toyota dealers. And, of course, the DNVR Avalanche pregame show presented by Coors Light. Gizmo, Rudo, Tiff, glad to have you along for this one. I'm feeling positive today, kids.
That makes one of us.
Newsflash, Gizmo's on a high right now. Really excited, feeling good. Annan in net. Life is good. Full complement roster. Everybody back and healthy. Landeskog's first game back tonight.
Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, my goodness.
Just incredible timing. Nothing I just said was true, other than the fact I'm very happy.
Look, on that day, I'll definitely be positive.
Yeah,
all right? When that day comes, I'll be a happy
You're
man.
going to be upbeat and ready to go?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, that's good. 100K of you, by the way, now subscribing on YouTube. That is monumental and very, very cool. Thank you all for the support. Make sure you continue to subscribe, like, and follow. We appreciate you more than you possibly could know. Tiff, are you here till 1:30 in the morning?
2.
And she left early.
2 in the morning. I was winning at the blackjack table at 2 o'clock in the morning in Vegas.
Very nice.
Yeah, we came away all right.
Yeah,
Get
I
the
left
big
early.
Yeah, not really the big bucks, but for me, a win's a win.
Any money up is the big bucks.
Any money up
all
is
right?
the big bucks, yes. Rolling in it. If you can come out of Vegas cash positive, you're a happy man. It is a big game tonight, and the theme is survive. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is that this is a battle against two teams who are struggling for very different reasons. You've got the Colorado Avalanche, who are decimated. I mean, I think there's no other better word for their situation offensively and across the roster other than decimation. And then you've got the Nashville Predators, who on paper should be in very fine shape, but are seemingly finding a difficult way to gel. Through 10 games this season, they are 3-6-1. They are in 8th place. They are in last. They are below where the Colorado Avalanche are by 3 points. So this could, on paper, be an extraordinarily interesting game. Let's just start there in terms of where we think these two teams match up based on where they are in the standings and the very different but same struggles.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, the Avs should be the better team. I think they are the better team if they were even half as healthy as they are now. The reality of the Avs lineup is anytime you're going depth line versus depth line, it's going to be a bit of a struggle for the Avs. But Nashville has... Look, yes, they have a similar struggle in the Avs. UC Saros has not been particularly good for them in net. They have not gotten good goaltending. But what the Avs have started to figure out across the course of this season is they're finding that production, whether it be on the power play or whether it be at 5-on-5 a little bit more lately. The Avs have found ways to start putting the puck in the net, and Nashville has not. They have really, really struggled to score, whether that's the cohesiveness of all the new guys or the system isn't clicking or whatever it is. Their production is not there so far this year. For the Avs to win, that has to continue. The Avs cannot be the team that allows Nashville to get right and start scoring. So it's going to be a big defensive effort as much as anything for Colorado tonight.
Why did we even debate who was sitting in that chair based on the amazing framing behind you and the instrumental role you played at 100K followers for DNVR? That was the most ridiculous swapperoo that you and me have ever maybe had.
I wasn't even thinking about it, to be honest.
That's your chair, always. I agree, and listen, someone in the Toyota chat talking about Nashville maybe struggling, but they're significantly healthier. I don't care about that. Struggles are struggles. Like, you could be the best team in the world, but if you're not cohesive and winning, you're not winning games. And I agree with Covert Owl. This is a very winnable hockey game, in my opinion. I want to talk about the goaltending real quick. It will be Eustace in net for the Avalanche. They played the best in front of him. It's a different hockey team in front of him.
It's not even close. And look, it is what it is in front of Georgiev. There's obviously a lot of mental struggles with him in net right now. That's just a fact. With Kakkonen, it's a brand new goalie. Nobody really knows how he likes the D to play in front of him, so there's going to be a little bit of miscommunication there. With Eustace, it's just comfortable.
Yep.
It is what it is, and I'm looking at this game, and I think it's way more about who shuts it down better than who produces more tonight.
Right.
I don't think the Avs are going to need 1 million goals tonight if they're going to win. Or rather, if it is that type of game, I don't think the Avs will win. I think they need to grind one out a little bit here.
So this being the defensive battle, I think that does favor Colorado, because I do feel like the Avalanche have what is, in my opinion, probably the best 6 defensemen.
Certainly top 3.
Yeah. In the league right now, based on the way that they're able to play it. I love that third pairing, and Cale Makar has been godly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could shut it down, and then you're going to get offense from Cale tonight. We'll talk about Bet365 later, but I would bet on him having something
11-game
tonight.
Point streak. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
come on.
You're right. For as injured as the Avs are, their defense is completely healthy tonight.
Knock on.
Yeah. And look, part of the survive conversation, whatever happens, nobody get hurt tonight. The Avs do not need another injury. But, yeah, you have Makar and Taves. You have Girard and Manson. You have Dehan Malinsky. That is a very strong D-core. You have faith in those guys to be quality, but they need to be on their game tonight. Tighten up a few of the mistakes. Don't get loose with things, particularly Manson and Girard. When you've seen what you've seen so far this season from the Avs defense, if Girard and Manson have a good night, the Avs probably win the game. Girard and Manson have a bad night, it's a lot more difficult for them to get to where they need to go.
Preach gets his first start tonight for the Avalanche.
Yeah, happy for the kid. I can't remember the last time the Avs had a player drafted in the same draft year that actually has played.
I know.
Because even like their first rounders, like Makar stayed 2 years in college, Byram did an extra year in the WHL. Those fast graduations are just not something that the Avs have done a lot of. And they probably didn't want to do it with Prishapov, obviously. They're just so injured that they have to. But yeah, kid had a good preseason, good training camp. He's been good for the Eagles so far this year. I do think there is a little more skill in a player like that than some of the call-ups we've seen, but we'll see how he handles bottom 6 role in the NHL.
Is there any, and we'll get to your stats in just a second, is there any regret on sending Cal back to Oshawa?
No, not for me.
Okay.
Could Richie theoretically be a guy in your lineup? Sure, maybe you feel like he helps you offensively a little bit. But the reality of having conversations around someone like Cal Ritchie, sometimes you have to make the better decision for the long run. Cal Ritchie helping you win 1 game in October, not worth him having a couple more bad games, ruining his confidence, having issues with his game going forward, when you can go put him in a place where he can develop effectively and he can come back next year or the year after and be a real piece for you that actually helps you night in and night out.
Okay, let's take a look at your numbers, and then we're going to get to Eric with his keys, but let's talk through some stats for tonight. I like some of these that you have on here.
Yeah, so look, the reality is the Avs forward core has to live with their stars. The Avs have 4 point per game players in the lineup tonight: McKinnon, Rantanen, Middlestat, Makar. It needs to be those 4 to do the heavy lifting. It just needs to be. There's no complication there. Nashville, as I said, they're having trouble scoring. No one in that lineup is a point-per-game player right now. Not that they don't have good players like Forsberg, but none of them are playing at that pace. Both of these teams are pretty strong possession teams at 5-on-5, so the Avs are going to have to work hard, outgrind them, win battles at 5-on-5. Then the shooting percentages, the Avs not shooting that well, but Nashville, the worst shooting team in the league at 5-on-5. That's what I'm talking about when I say don't be the team that lets them get right and put some pucks in the back of the net here. Keep that cold streak of shooting going for Nashville. And then, again, reinforcing, this game is going to be won or lost at 5-on-5. Nashville has the best penalty kill in the league. You're not going to get a whole lot against this team when it comes to the power play, which the Avs have been winning games off of. So you look at that, and you combine that with the face-offs. Nashville, a very good face-off team. Again, all of this comes down to the star players, and the rest of the lineup has to simply outwork Nashville on every single shift.
Okay, I mean, what we're saying is it's possible. You're saying there's a chance.
Look, there's a reason they play the games.
Right, yeah, drop the puck.
No one would be shocked if Nathan MacKinnon goes off for 5 points.
That would be great.
And the Avs will win if that happens.
Oh, yes, I would say so. Yeah, that's a good thing if you have Nathan MacKinnon producing at that pace. We've got a lot to talk about here on the pregame show presented by Coors Light. Thanks for all y'all on the Toyota chat. We'll get some more of those comments in a little bit. Puck drop coming up in just about 19 minutes. Tips that on 9 tonight? I'm having trouble keeping up with our friends at Altitude. Is it on 9 News or is it on Altitude tonight?
I think it's Altitude, but I'm not 100% sure.
We'll let you know on that as we figure it out, too. Playing catch-up on that a smidge. But before we get to that, let's check in with our big guy. Eric Lacroix has his big 3 keys for the game tonight. E?
Big East 3 keys versus Nashville. Big game tonight for the Avalanche. Obviously, they are depleted. Let's not kid ourselves. A lot of bodies missing, especially up front. But nonetheless, you got to play the game. You got to try to win the game. So key number 1 today, I usually stay away from it. I'm not going to stay away from it. You need goaltending today. I got the props today. You need goaltending. Goaltending. Very important. It settles the game down, especially when you're having a few minutes, you're under siege. A big save will calm things down. It is very important. Eustace, he's done it. He's done it every time. Obviously that he started games this season. Let's keep it up. Key number 2, very, very important to keep it simple. In a sense, what I'm saying is don't lose any 5-minute segments more than once. So if you're losing break it down into 5 minutes each period. So that gives you 4 segments. If you lose one segment, a 5-minute, you can't lose the next one. Very simple. I got props, right? Props. There you go. So if you lose this one, you can't lose that one. Obviously, what does that mean? That means that you're not giving away momentum. It's okay to lose one. You're going to get, usually you get scored on, you get swarmed around. It doesn't matter. You just got to stop it and get momentum back. Very important. Our friend Mo is huge tonight. Big Mo. Momentum. Key number 3, it's going to have to be a cookie cutter game, right? Cookie cutter game. Get the cookie dough out, roll out the dough, and then just cut it. Very simple. North-south game. Know what you are. Know what you're doing. You have a very thin lineup, especially up front. So please, no blue line turnovers. No bad exits out of your own end. No neutral zone turnovers. Just be simple, just like a cookie cutter. Boom, boom. Make it Christmas cookies if you want. It doesn't matter. But play the game in a very simple, methodical way. Very important tonight when you have a depleted lineup. But it doesn't mean that you can't win the game, especially when you got the 3 best players in the world.
Oh, it's for the thing.
I'm like mortified by political commercials at this point. Every single commercial has been a political commercial, and I just watched something that I can't unsee, Rudo.
It'd be wild out here.
I can't unsee it. Can it just end? When does it end? Soon, right? Like
the
Tuesday?
4th, the 5th?
It ends very soon.
I've already sent in my ballot, so I'm done.
Good for you.
I don't have to pay attention.
All right, good stuff for me. While we have him hanging around a little bit more, obviously, Eric, a man that has played in the NHL, he, like anybody else that has played in this league, has had their first game. He preaches in tonight. It's, as Rudo said, a very weird scenario. But your thoughts and the feelings that must be going through Krishpov's mind on playing his first game in the NHL in a circumstance that's not necessarily ideal.
Yeah, hey guys, but listen, before I start, I want to take a moment and say congratulations to the whole team, the whole DNVR Sports, ALLCITY, 100,000 subscribers, something on YouTube, something that you guys have worked so hard, and I know, Rudo, you're a big part of it, so I want to say congratulations, and you never seem to amaze me how hard you work and how passionate you are, and listen, great team effort by everyone in the company. It's been outstanding to watch the last so many years to see what it has become. And I know I'll speak for Giz too, like for myself. It's an honor to be part of this family. And I'll tell you what, let's rock and roll tonight. Let's just get one of those wins where, again, maybe unexpected because of all the injuries. But to answer the question on, when it is your first NHL game, when it is new, you got, first of all, you're going to play on absolute passion, and everything goes out the window, and you're playing on adrenaline, and it's so exciting. It's something you've worked hard, and you just got to go out there and enjoy and keep it simple, and remember who you are and why you got called up. I don't care under what circumstances you got called up. It's very important that you just go out there and do what brought you there. So if you're a scorer, then you go score and you shoot. If you're a crasher and you bang, you go crash and bang. If you're a playmaker, you go out there and be a playmaker. So it doesn't matter what you do, is you do what you do best, and you use the attributes that got you here at the NHL level, and that's what's going to keep you here, or at least make a nice impression. So if next time something or needs are needed, your name gets in the conversation.
As we continue on with hockey in the Rockies, from afar, but always close to our hearts, the importance of this one against a divisional rival that is struggling. They're down at the very bottom, 3 points back, can't seem to get offense going. Obviously, the struggle's different for Colorado in the sense that they just don't have bodies, but can you sum up the importance of this game?
Yeah. When a team is struggling a little bit, like forget about the Avalanche, when your team is struggling like Nashville, there's a lot of new people there, a lot of new players, a lot of new formations, a lot of new line combinations, so or your power play, the way you set it up. And that's what happens. It takes a little bit of time to gel, and sometimes it just never does. And I'm not saying that's going to be the case with the Nashville Predators. I'm saying that when they are down a little bit, they're not too on top of their game. Goaltending hasn't been good. Saros has not been good. I'm a big fan. He hasn't been good the first 10 games. You got to be honest. Look at his stats. Look at his save percentage, goals against. He has not been a significant piece of an 8-year deal, you know what I mean, that he just signed with the Nashville Predators. He has not lived up to it. So when you have a divisional opponent like this, you just want to keep him down. And again, they know that you're missing a lot of key pieces if you're the Avalanche, and they know that if you beat them, it's a little bit on the side of like, oh crap, we lost to the Avalanche at home, we lost our last game too. All of a sudden, it is a divisional opponent, and the Avs were missing a bunch of people. Now, on the flip side of things, if they beat you, they'll never say that, oh, the Avs were missing. No, they'll just say, wow, we turned our season around playing against the Avalanche. We had this big win at home. It's awesome. They're never going to say, like, oh, the Avs were missing 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it is. It's absurd, the amount of people that are missing. It's not an excuse. It's a reality. So that's what I mean by tonight. You got a divisional opponent like that. You stomp on them, and you make sure that you just take away their will and make them question really where they are as a team after a game like tonight.
All right, good stuff, E. Thank you much. Of course, we'll catch up with him in post-game later on tonight. About 10 minutes till puck drop from the Music City. You country guy at all or not?
No.
Not at all.
I'll say this. The older I get, the more tolerable I'll be of the country, but generally speaking, no.
Okay. Tiff?
I grew up on it. Like,
Yeah.
my mom listened to country, so I'm very tolerant of it. But
So you're good.
I'm okay. It's fine.
You were the only one in LA when I was driving and in control of the radio that wasn't giving me crap about country.
Yeah,
so.
I don't mind. I always throw people for a curveball when I do a country song during karaoke. They're like, "What? You know country?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're easy to sing.
Yeah, country's good. Country's good.
All you got to know is trucks and boots and your dog and
Heartbreak,
country.
whiskey.
Sadness.
Talking about basically all the things that
Shotguns.
sum up my life.
You're a little bit country, Giz.
I'm a little bit country. Heartbreak, whiskey, horses, booze, dog.
You miss me with the horses.
Miss me?
All right.
Well, that's all right.
Bruno being scared of horses is kind of one of the funniest things.
Not with the horses.
Pitter patter. That's right. We talked about the horse fear. Well, it's all right. We're going to get to that eventually on the psychology side of the
Oh,
couch.
God. I can't wait to dive into that.
Speaking of horses, oh my gosh, what a segue. I didn't even plan on it. Let's go. Risers for this team. Who needs to show up tonight? Obviously, I know your answer. McKinnon needs to do more. Rantanen needs to do more. We can expect Cale to step up.
Yeah, and look, if you get the ultimate night out of your stars, no one else needs to step up. Great,
Sure.
you win, feel good. But the reality is, it's probably going to be a close game if the Avs are going to win it. It's probably going to need a little bit of help. And it doesn't need to be anyone specific. I'm not saying this depth player has to do it, but it has to be somebody in the depth.
Yeah.
Just one play. You saw the other night, you get a goal out of Ivan, who stepped up into that top six. Awesome. It wasn't enough because the Avs had other problems, but you needed someone like that again. Maybe it's Ivan again. Maybe it's LOC. Maybe it's Nikita Pristchapov. Pick one of your favorites and go for it. You get one goal out of those guys, and really, you should win this game with your stars.
I know who's going to score tonight.
Who's that?
You know what I'm going to say, and so does everybody in the chat. And I'll take it on a bet.
It's always good money.
I'll take it on a bet. Mark it down. He's going to bury one tonight because he's been close before. And it's happening tonight.
What, is it like plus 2,500 or something?
I don't know, but I'll
Yeah.
look because we're about to talk about that because it's time for our betting section presented by Bet365 because no matter the moment, they're never ordinary.
Yes,
This is our
sir.
pregame pitch, Rudo. What do you got?
Well, look, I didn't take that bet, but what I did take was the Avs
Coward.
to win.
Coward.
Mostly because getting the Avs to win at plus money is like the rarest thing on the planet.
Oh.
But the crazy long shot I went with is the Eustace shutout.
Oh.
I went with the shutout because, look at the numbers.
Stop saying the word.
Shutout. Nashville is shooting sub 5%
Gosh.
at 5-on-5. Sub 5%.
It's over before it began.
And look, if this game starts and the first shot on the net goes in, then you can blame me. That's fine. But with Eustace in net, he's been the Avs' best goalie so far this year. Nashville is a team that the Avs should be able to limit a little bit on their ability to finish. Why not go for a long shot bet? And maybe more importantly, a little bit of wish casting and hoping Eustace can cement the starter role or whatever you want to call it. He certainly has the best opportunity to be the guy, at least for now, in Colorado. And then the Makar points thing I'm doing until this point streak ends. I'm just doing that.
Well,
so.
yeah. I mean, let's go, Cale.
Jump in with him. Go take my bets. Or if you want an emotional hedge, you think the Avs are too hurt, you can always bet on Nashville, too. You can. That's allowed. That way, if the Avs win, you're happy. If the Avs lose, at least you won some money.
Nashville's not winning this hockey game tonight.
Maybe not, but whatever you're betting on, make sure you do it with Bet365 and the DNVR 365 code. Make sure you're 21 or older, physically located in Colorado, and when you or someone that you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. And if you're trying to catch the game, the DNVR 365 code also gets you 2 months of Altitude Plus, thanks to Bet365.
How about that? Bet365, the official partner now of the DNVR Nugs and Abbeys.
Yeah,
Love that.
Officially
Love that.
official.
I feel like I helped with that based on the propensity at which I funneled money into it over the last...
You've gone pretty hard since we got you in on the Bet365.
Yeah, it was
for
super
sure.
good for me. It's working out great. It was working out great for a while, and now it's gone cold. But blackjack was hitting last night. Blackjack.
You
We
just
were
got-
hitting blackjack.
Just got to switch your game up every once in a
Yeah,
while. you know?
I got a little reunion last night in Old Vegas at the New York, which is where I basically lived when I worked for the Golden Knights. So
Yeah,
it was,
yep.
The smell of cigarette smokes and sound of chips clanking together was reminiscent.
Classic
of
Vegas.
2 wonderful years spent on the strip. 5 minutes before puck drop, just last thoughts on what you expect. Again, I will break this down in terms of the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes of this game being monumentally important to setting the tone and telling us how this thing's going to play out.
Yeah, fully agree. Don't let this game be over before it starts like you did with Tampa.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, you got a chance, at very least. Look, the Avs are a hockey team that is capable of winning any night. Even with the injuries they have, with the talent at the top of their lineup, if you don't believe in them, why do you watch this hockey team?
Yeah.
This entire team's identity is built around the guys that aren't hurt right now. Right. So, do they need to play better? Yeah, they need to be the guys tonight. That's just the reality. They're absolutely capable of doing it. I hope they do. I hope we get to sit here and celebrate a win. And make no mistake, if you win games like this, if you're Colorado and you can win games like this, it is a huge boon to your mental too, because you're looking at a game like this and you're going, look, we're just trying to get through this. Hopefully we can win, but we're realistic about what our lineup looks like. You win this one, now you're riding high. You get to Tuesday, you get Lehkonen back, and all of a sudden you're back on an upswing and feeling good.
Tuesday, Seattle.
Yep.
You think that's maybe a win, especially if you get the Lehkonen boost back in the lineup?
Another team that's not the best on paper.
Right, yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Look, again, it's still early in the year. You're looking at this part of the year, and these losses aren't the end of the world. You're not panicking. But also, the Avs will go 2 games below 500 if they win tonight. They get back to 500, or if they lose tonight, they get back to 500 if they win tonight. Being 500 or better was the expectation for the Avs before we get to the Nichushkin comes back, Leckie comes back, that part of the season. So, really, you're doing your job if you can find a win tonight.
We are also creeping up on the proverbial American Thanksgiving date. That is all telling in terms of where you should be and whether you agree with it or not. The idea is that you should be in a playoff position and or hunt by American Thanksgiving.
And the reality is the Avs have done an okay job of that. They're
Correct.
not Nashville 3-6-1. They're not a team on the outside. They're not quite where they would like to be, but a win
they're
tonight,
not on the outside.
Right, exactly. They're on the bubble essentially right now, which is crazy to call any team on the bubble 12 games into the season, but yeah, if you put faith in that Thanksgiving statistic, all they have to do is get a little bit healthier and have a good little stretch here, and they should be more than in the good position for this season.
What do we think Eustace's mental state is? Doesn't dress the last game, plays the third position after rattling off 4 wins in a row. Now he's getting this start against Nashville. I feel like he's fine.
Yeah, I don't think either goaltender really did anything to challenge his position. I think he's played well. When you look at the Avs 3 goalie rotation, for me, Eustace is the guy who has the best path to. Again, I still think they'll probably go get a goaltender closer to the trade deadline or whatever. But of the 3 they have right now, Eustace is the one you keep. So he should be confident in himself. He should be confident with his opportunity in the Avs. He has to go out there and do it again tonight because that's what a 3 goalie rotation is. Performance is expected every single time you get on the ice. If he does it again tonight, I really don't know how many more times we can have the conversation about one of these other guys challenging for his job.
I mean, I think that conversation is over already. I mean,
Maybe,
I know
maybe.
who my 2 guys would be, but I'm definitely not the coach and or CMAC of this team. So we'll see what plays out tonight. It's obviously a very big moment for a lot of reasons. I think we're going to see a lot of things reveal themselves tonight. And I think most importantly, we're going to see a little bit of the moxie of this team in what is a currently ever-changing lineup. There will be some very interesting... No, Ludwig is not in for Dahan tonight. There'll be some very interesting things that happen here. They will reveal themselves in very short order. Dahan is out tonight.
No goal bet for you.
Is that correct? Wow. All right. So there you go. So Ludwig in, DeHaan out. More roster reveals as we continue, but it's puck drop time as the Avalanche get set to take on Nashville. We'll have the watch along coming up for you here in just a few minutes. Thanks for tagging along. This pregame show presented by Coors Light.
We all silly like the mayor.